exciting time for you today. Really exciting. You know, one of my hobbies is electronics. Why do I like electronics? Because you can make things blink and flash and blink and do stuff like that. Well, it's fun to some of us. So, today I'm going to demonstrate how we make electronic breadboards. And I apologize for my... Would somebody please come up here and go to the E drive, just click on the PowerPoint. What do electronics engineers do when they make electronics? Well, they build circuits. And there's a lot of prototyping and experimenting. Just hit slide show. Say that.
F5. F5.
Oh, I'm sorry. F5.
There we go. Thank you. They make things on circuit boards. We've all taken apart our TV set, right?
Oh, yes.
Remember I told you you won't die doing that. Inside you see stuff, all right? And it's on circuit boards. Here's a circuit board that's almost blank. It's got a few parts on it. And I want you to pay particular attention to this little round metal can here when you look at it, because I'm going to talk about that in just a second.
Thank you.
Please pass that around. Here's another circuit board that has more stuff on it. That's a finished circuit board. So how do we get from theory to practice to working circuits? Back in the day, there's the blank circuit board. There's one that's fully populated. Back in the day, say when my grandfather was a little boy and radio was first around, they built circuits on what they called breadboards. Why did they call them breadboards? Because what they usually did was go into the kitchen and steal the breadboard, which is a piece of wood, nice, firm, solid piece of wood, didn't conduct electricity, so it was a good insulator, to build their circuits. There's a breadboard. Does anybody know what that big silver thing is in the middle?
Tube.
Oscilloscope.
That is a valve.
Vacuum tube.
A vacuum tube, or valve as they say in Great Britain. Now, today, things have moved along. We have something called a breadboard. Looks exactly the same, right? No, it doesn't. But it's specially manufactured to put electronic components on it to build circuits for prototyping. You may pass that around. And that's got a couple of different parts on it. The electronic parts that go on these, there's all kinds of electronic components. There's resistors and diodes and capacitors and integrated circuits. Did you know that that little round metal can that I pointed out was a transistor? I had a 2-transistor radio when I was a kid. 2 transistors. The more expensive one, which I couldn't afford, had 7. That has 1 million transistors in it. This is a 486 from about 1990. The CPU in your machine now has close to 1 billion transistors. And you know what? Intel today makes about 10 billion transistors a minute. Wow. We've come a long way on that. So, there's a circuit. What is a circuit? A circuit is merely something that electricity runs through in a complete path and does something, does work. This is a very simple circuit. Battery, resistor, capacitor, and a switch. There's a more complicated circuit. Not much more complicated, but slightly more. Circuits can get very complex. And even very complex circuits can be built on these breadboards. So what I thought I would do today is take a very simple circuit, one that lights up an LED, a light emitting diode, and show you how we would do that on a breadboard. This is the same as the one that's going around, it's a little smaller. So, how do we do that? This is made up of small holes that are connected electrically underneath in special ways so that we can plug components in, they make contact electrically, and we can build a circuit on it. And these are designed to fit standard components. Now remember I told you I like blinking and flashing and blinking. We're going to build a little LED that lights up. You see that? So how do we do that? We punch this into the holes, and it goes one way, so we have to make sure polarity, plus and minus, are correct. Now an LED is not like a light bulb. A light bulb you can just run electricity through and it glows. LEDs are a little special in that they need a little bit more circuitry or else they blow up. And sometimes that's fun to do. So, I have an LED and a resistor on this little breadboard, and I have a switch, on, off switch that is going to hopefully run some electricity through this circuit board, this electronic breadboard. You need a battery. Is it good? Yeah. Did you ever do that?
Yes.
Is that a good thing to do?
No.
How about with a 90-volt battery?
No.
Now, if my polarity is correct and everything is working, when we turn that switch on, that little red LED should glow. Dr. Jim, would you like to do the honors?
I would like to. Do I have to twist this?
You have to hold on to the back and twist it.
Can you hold it for me?
Hey!
There we go. Thank you.
Oh, it turned on.
And thank you for listening to me.